Well, I'm Anna Lloyd. I emailed you a little while ago.
Yeah, awesome. Nice to meet you.
We told everyone this is kind of a sample of our students who either work with us at UAB Digital Media or take some film classes here on our floor. But we gave everyone your bio, so everyone's kind of gotten familiar. It's really impressive. I was so excited to see some of the films you worked on. So we really appreciate you giving us your time. If you could tell us a little bit about some of the recent work you've been doing.
Um, Recent. Um, the one um, I just finished being a second AD on a movie called Polly Road. You can find it on IMDb. There's not that much information. The director is Jonathan Lim. Um, some of our cast included Michelle Chen. She's a big time actress from China. So this movie is basically one of the first collaborations of Chinese production and Hawaii production. So they wanted to bring a main star from China, so the Michelle Chen. So they brought her in. Um, the other leads, the American leads, are Jackson Rathbone. I don't know if any of you are Twilight fans. I'm not, so I was like, oh, I don't really know who he is. But everyone got super excited. But Jackson Rathbone and Sung Kang. Of you might know him from the Fast and Furious movies. I think, yeah. But that was an interesting experience because it was my first job in as a DGA AD. The DGA is the Directors Guild of America. So it was my first. I've done AD work before, but this was my first formal DGA AD job. Um, the shoot was 3 weeks, ranged from 5 to 6 day shoots. A lot of the scheduling changed. This was very I mean, you probably all know before you start shooting, you should have a script all done, pretty much ready. There will be rewrites no matter what that goes throughout the shooting. But have does anybody have taken screenwriting courses before? You know about script writing? You know about the color page rewrites? Do you know about it? You know, you get blue and then pink revisions, and then goes all the way to salmon and uh, etc. There's like 10 or 13 color pages. Throughout the shoot, we went through second blues and second pinks, which means we went through all the color revisions and came back to the first color. So we went to second blues, second pinks, etc. So that was it was a good experience for me. 3 weeks shoot, long hours, not too many locations, but yeah, that was my most recent job. It's a lot of fun to do, low budget coming off of. I've been doing mostly big features, so it was a good experience for me.
Is there a difference that you in like I guess the shoots you're working on now that you're in DGA versus before?
I've Most of the work I've done are DGA signatory films, which means the films has signed an agreement with the DGA and with the unions. I mean, no matter what, union force is very strong in the film industry, especially bigger films, no matter what. Um, from grip and lighting, Screenwriters Guild, Directors Guild, etc. Then I've also done some work that are non-union. I especially do a lot of Japanese commercials. As you may know, Rosie's background and my background is our grandparents are from Japan, so I speak Japanese. So I would do Japanese productions. And in Japan, there are no unions, there are no film unions. So while on a union show, none of us, if you're not in the IA, if you're not a grip or electrician, you may not touch a C-stand. Like that is, you cannot touch an Apple box. It's just very clear cut. And if there's a camera, you don't touch their equipment unless you're in the camera department. While on a Japanese production or non-union, it's everybody pitches in. It's like a student film almost. So, everyone pitches in different aspects of filmmaking. We'll help carry things. We'll help drive things. You know, Teamster Union is one of the strongest unions. If you may not drive a van or any kind of vehicle. You cannot drive actors, etc. that is the main difference I would see between union and non-union show is and both are good in different ways, and both are bad in different ways. Um, for union shows, it's very clear cut. Everyone has a job, and everyone's responsible for what you're to do. We have a script supervisor, we have the director, AD, etc. Everyone has a specific job, and because of that, it's easy and nice because you always know where to go to. You always know that that person's gonna be responsible for their job. And the good side of non-union is everyone pitches in and helps. A Japanese, like one of their producers, he'll carry chairs and tables and he'll help set up tents. And it's more like everyone works together more. So that's the biggest difference between non-union union jobs, and that's the good sides of both.
What were some of the things you learned about the industry that you learned after college and were like, kind of like, what is the college versus reality?
Oh, big difference. I went to I went into the University of Hawaii. They had the Academy for Creative Media program, which is I think more similar to maybe similar to what you guys do. It's my degree is in digital production, and we would do. We'll do short films. We'll make films together. We had screenwriting courses, and we learned the basics. The biggest crew we would have is maybe a 10-person crew. And then I got a chance to work on Lost, and just it was so different. Like they gave me a call sheet and I looked on the back, and this basic crew is 100+ people. And then the first things someone recommended is to try to memorize everyone's name and know what department they're in. I'm like, oh great. It's just the scale is so different, and like I said, everyone has a job. I don't know if you guys know, but in union there is a position for someone who puts out layout boards in locations. So if you're in a location like a big beautiful house and you don't want to scratch the floors, there is a union position for someone who puts out boards and carpets so you don't scratch the house. I was like, really? There's a specific job for that? But yeah, it's a union job for someone who does that. It was just the scale was so big, and there are definitely positions I did not even know about. I didn't really know what an AD did, and that's what I'm going into now. So when I was in school, I wanted to be a director. That was my main thing, but my passion was I saw what ADs do, and just my personality type. Directors have the vision. I always say they have the vision, they know what they want. ADs, we're the ones who make it happen and somehow make it reality. And we'll schedule it and we'll do whatever we can to make that vision come alive. And that's the part that I love about my job. So coming out of school, I didn't even know what I wanted to do specifically. And then not until I was in there that I saw these different positions, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And until you're in it, school was good. Don't finish school. Everyone finish school. But not until you do, I started out as a production assistant and getting to see all the different parts and the gears that got me excited about what I wanted to do. So I guess my advice is don't be too locked in what you want to do. Film industry is so big, and there's so much to it and so many parts to it that get a chance to be a production assistant, or get a chance to be an office PA or things like that, and just have a chance to look from afar and just see things as a whole, and you'll be able to pinpoint what grabs your attention, I guess. First job in as AD. Trying to think. It was a local music video called music video called "Wade in Your Water" by Common Kings. It was the artists were friends with several of my friends, like mutual friends, and they wanted to do a music video, and they're from Hawaii, so they wanted to make the music video in Hawaii. And their friend was the director, and he was a friend of mine. He asked me to AD for him, and it was like non-union. No one got paid. Everyone did it for the love of it, and which was a good chance for me. If I mess up, it's okay. But that was my first one. It was lots of fun. It was just one day, like all day, and we shot all night because we had a beach scene and then we had a night scene, campfire. That was my first AD job. So good memories. It was a lot of fun. It was all the crew, everyone, people I knew with, and people I knew from, who knew me from my first day as a PA ever on set. So, they were excited for me too and super supportive. So really happy about it. That was a lot of fun.
What can you say about the geography and how it can be limiting or helpful, especially, outside of Hollywood?
Outside of Hollywood? Right now, outside of Hollywood's very good. There's a lot of work outside of LA. LA's starting to pick up because a new tax incentive came out January of this year. January 1st came into effect. So a lot more shows are coming back to LA. But, I'm sure all of you know some of the biggest, filming centers in America is New Orleans. It's Louisiana has the biggest tax incentive. I was just there filming at Jurassic World, and we were filming at the NASA stages. Like, we were in one section, Jurassic World. Next door was Terminator, the new movie, and then like the next city over was Fantastic Four, and then Pitch Perfect 2 was down the road too. It was like all four big movies were at the same time. There was work for everybody. There's a lot of work. We kept stealing everyone's PAs, but there was a lot of work, and outside of LA. Also, Atlanta has a lot of film. There's a lot of filming in Atlanta. Pittsburgh has a lot. Basically, outside of LA, there is a lot of film to be done. Hawaii, we get a pretty good flow of movies, short films, commercials. Like, I've been doing this since 2009, and whatever breaks that there was no work were welcome breaks. Like, I was like, great, I get 2 months off. It's good, I can recuperate, kind of thing. Everything in this industry is really about who you know. It's true. It's like, who you know. There's a joke. I keep forgetting the joke, but it's like either you're related to someone, or you're sleeping with someone, or you're trying to keep from other people knowing that you're sleeping with that person. And it's basically everybody knows everybody. And Hawaii is true. It's same in New Orleans. It's same wherever. And yeah, resume is great, but if they look at your resume, they want to see, like when I was told, when you make your resume, put the people you work with, because that's what they're going to look at. They're not going to say, oh, you worked on this movie. They're going to look, oh, you worked with that person. I know that person. I'm going to give them a call. So wherever you put yourself, like wherever you make your center of, film production, whether it be New Orleans or Atlanta, even LA, Hawaii, you have to build up your connection. It's really about marketing yourself within these people, having a good reputation. And if you're good, they're going to tell you, they'll tell about you to other people. That's how I started on Lost, is like, I literally never gave out a resume for about 2 years when I first started. My first job was on Lost, and then I called them up after I graduated and said, hey, do you have work? And I started working. And then somebody told somebody else about me, and they're like, oh, do you want to work on 5-0 the pilot? I'm like, sure. I went on to do 5-0 the pilot. And then somebody called me and said, oh, come do Battleship. I'm like, okay. And then I went to do Battleship. And then they're like, oh, 5-0's coming back for season 1. We heard he did really good on the pilot. Come, like, literally for 2 years, I didn't have to call anybody. People called me. That's how the industry works. If you make that good first impression, and wherever you are, and it's such a small community that your name will get passed around in that good sense. So geographically, if you find your point, your center, build up your reputation within there. Work with as many people as you can, and you can get your name out there. Uh, yeah. Um, I can say from I can't say for other departments, but for my department as a PA, I mean, as a production assistant, you do everything from make coffee and bring it to someone, to distributing sides in the morning and signing in background and signing out background. Um, some of the ways I've learned, I think, throughout the years is some of the best way to show, like, you know, to make not make yourself look good, but to be noticed is just really like the small things. I remember on a 5-0, I was the person in the morning. Everyone knows sides, right? Do you know what sides are? It's miniature scripts of the scenes. It only includes the scenes that you're gonna film for the day. So today we're filming scene 13, 56A, 56B, and 42. So you get these little pages. The office prints them out, and it has the script for the day. Um, there are people who need them every morning, like sound needs them because they need to know what dialogue there is. The director wants to have them so he knows. He'll have his script too, but he wants sides too. The camera operators need to know it because they're the one operating the cameras. They need to know what the action is, etc. There are big and small sides, and I didn't even think about it, but somebody pointed out to me. Every morning, I knew exactly who needed to go. So I had my package, and I went to every single person. I found them. I looked for them. Okay, where are the camera operators? Here. And I brought them. I knew how people folded their sides, so I would pre-fold some of them. Like, some people liked it long way, some people liked it tri-fold. And then I'd hand it to them. And I knew some people wanted the larger sides compared to small sides. So it was just, for me, it was a natural thing. In my mind, I'm like, that's how people want it. I want to make it easy and efficient as possible. But people noticed it. And I didn't even realize. They're like, how is it every morning you know exactly who gets what and you do it? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I guess that's part of my job. And they're like, oh, some people don't do that extra. They just pass it out, or they wait for you to come to them. I'm like, oh yeah, you needed sides. Here you go. Um, People notice those kind of little things, and that's how you get noticed. It's just the extra mile. And always the one word as an AD or PA type is we're always learning to anticipate. I mean, even if you remember what kind of coffee the director likes, or the DP likes this snack, or it's those things that they remember. It seems really petty and small at times, but they appreciate those kind of little things, and that's what's going to make you stand out. And I would try to take care of the crew, because I can't move a C-stand, I can't move a camera, and I feel like as a PA sometimes I'm like, what am I really contributing to the film? Oh, I'm there to take care of the crew and make sure that they get exactly what they need. They'll appreciate promptness, and they'll appreciate honesty, and they'll appreciate communication. So that's the way to get noticed, I guess, and to make people like, hey, that girl pays attention, and she thinks ahead, and she cares for the crew.
Question, could you talk about, because we've talked about it in the past, what a typical day for a PA would be? Because, you know, in the past, you said a lot of people can't get through it. You know, you see people start in the industry but then fall away. So if you could talk about what the work really is.
Sure. Yeah, like she was saying, a lot of people, the give up point. To be an AD, you have to turn in 600 days. You have to have a call sheet, production report, and a pay stub. 600 days proof that you worked as a set production assistant. Many people fall away by day 200 or 300. They're like, okay, I just had enough of it. Okay, typical day. For example, I worked on Jurassic World. I wasn't in charge of background, but I was kind of helping out with that. We had 800 background on one day. So the earliest PAs would come in at So if our shoot call was at 7 a.m., like crew call 6 a.m., shoot call 7 a.m., to get 800 background ready, you would be on set at 3:30 in the morning to help start checking in background. We'll check them in, get them through hair, makeup, wardrobe, get them through props, get them breakfast, get them where they need to go. And then usually, as I was the key set PA, then I would come in at about an hour before call, so about 5 a.m. I'd come in, I get all the sides, I'll make sure everyone has the sides that they need. We'll set up the first shot, we'll have a rehearsal with cast. I was taking care of cast, as in I would keep eyes on them while on set. So babysitting, basically. I would babysit cast while they were on set. I would communicate between if they'd go from their trailers to set, etc., and let them know what the shots are, what the next scene is going to be, how many more shots we have left, what time was lunch. It's a big question. Where's the bathrooms? Big question. Everyone will ask me that. Lunch would be 6 hours from crew call. So if it was a 6 a.m. call, we have at 12 p.m. we'll have lunch. Until then, maybe, because it's a big feature, maybe we got 3 shots, 3 setups. On TV, we could go as far as up to 15 setups in the morning. TV and movie pace are extremely different. So a movie will get maybe 3-4 setups. Get all the background, Jurassic, a lot of, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there are dinosaurs that escape. So I got to get all these people, 800 people, to run around and to look like they're running away from CG dinosaurs and not get hurt and not run into each other. So we had groups of us were in charge of areas. So I'd be in charge of 25 to 50 background here. Somebody will have another 25, 50 background on this level, and etc. We'd set it, and then action. They'll just run and create havoc and chaos. And we do that several times to make it look exactly right. Then we'll do it from a different angle, the exact same thing. So that will be our morning. And then after lunch, we'll come back and we will do more of the same. Maybe have next put in the actors and have them run through the crowd, which had more choreography, as you can imagine, because you have to have people crossing while the actors go through, while the camera can see their faces and not get blocked by people. And so we'll do that for the rest of the day until the sun goes down, which was, we could shoot till maybe, good lighting, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. And then once we wrap, like 6 p.m., then we have to sign out all the background. We have to make sure every single person returned their prop, because it was Jurassic World. They were very, like, everything had Jurassic logos on it, right? So they were, every person, props kept track what prop every single person had. They had to get back everything because they couldn't let anything leak. That was a process, getting them all the props returned, any wardrobe returned. Signing out takes a process because you have to check their IDs. I think the last of them will leave probably around 8 p.m., something like that, 8 p.m. Took a good couple hours. And because I'm the key set PA, what I would do is, so that's the background side. But what I would also, another job is, so you guys all know what a call sheet, right? It's basically, it has the times and for times for everybody to come in. A PR, a production report, is similar to a call sheet, but it's actually what happened. Call sheet is what they want to have happen in the day and what time everyone should come in. The production report is what actually happened. And that's an AD's job, is to get everyone's in and out times, what time they actually took lunch, what we actually filmed, what our times, what our setups, how much we shot, etc. So I would be running around getting times from all 100+ crew members. They'd give sheets of paper and then I'd input it. So that's a typical day. So for those who did background, they start 3:30 in the morning and they finish like 8 p.m. and they'd have to be ready to come back again the next day, 3:30 in the morning. The 14-hour day is average for a PA, an AD. And I've done, I think the longest day I've ever done was 23 hours 23-hour day. It doesn't happen very often, but it's happened.
Can you talk a little more about the difference between being on a film set and a TV set?
Film and TV. Its biggest one is pace. Oh my goodness. Television, average page count, we will shoot between average 10 pages a day, 8 to 10 pages a day. There was a day on 5-0, I think we shot, it was crazy, we shot 16 pages and we had 2 company moves. It was crazy. We were like, we're not going to do it. There was a whole side bet of if our first AD would make our day. And he's like, well, I'll bet you $200 I'll make it. And he did. We did 16 pages with 2 moves. And we did it in a day. That's the biggest difference. I mean, if the lighting's not exactly perfect, I mean, the DIT guy would just changes the iris control a little bit and just make it a little bit brighter, even though the sun's going down, obviously. Oh, we'll throw in some more lights, it'll be okay. I mean, that's the quality of TV. It's like that. And even if it's a emotional, like a dialogue scene, they'll do it really fast. A page an hour, basically. They can do that. While on movie sets, completely different beast. For example, on Jurassic, there was a big scene between Bryce Dallas and Chris Pratt. They rehearsed, and I'm like, everyone sit back, relax, take a break until they figure this out. They rehearsed while we're on set, while everyone's waiting around, an hour and a half, just rehearsing. But you have that time, and they have the money, and they have that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get that quality in a movie set. And average, we can shoot maybe a page or 2 a day. If we're doing a big stunt, we could do as little as 1/8 of a page a day, and that'd be great. That is the biggest difference, I think, between television and feature filming. I mean, television, you have 8 days to do 1 episode, and that's it. While on a feature, you have, 8 days to shoot a 42, 43 minute, an hour long TV show episode. While a movie, Jurassic was 72 shooting days for maybe a 2-hour movie. That shows the scale of the pace that we do.
How does it compare to like music video sets?
Music video sets. Music video, average song is like 3 minutes. Nowadays there's some longer ones. So 2 to 4 minutes, right? Music video. And then they'll shoot, average is 2 days, 2 or 3 days for me. It depends how many locations. If it's just one location, I think, I didn't work on it, but there was a Chris Brown music video. I think they did it in 1 day, and it was only 1 location. Music videos are hard in general because the ego that comes into the music video, especially if it's a lone artist, they can be very, it's all about them, right? It's their music, their image, their look, what they want to do. I did a Nicki Minaj video in 2 days. I think she only stepped foot on set. Out of those 2 full days, I think she stepped foot maybe 4 hours total, because she was very specific. It had to be a certain way, and she'd only come out in certain circumstances. So a lot of ego comes into music videos, and a lot of pampering. There's a lot about the producer. Like I said, the image it's very different from feature television. So I'm not a big fan of music videos personally because of that.
What kind of equipment are you guys using these days? Anything interesting? The last time you were in town, we talked a lot about equipment, different things, shortcuts that you guys were able to do. Like right when the DSLR was coming out, you were telling me that you guys were integrating those into some shots, and I'm just wondering what's the latest.
I don't know too much. I mean, we're also limited in Hawaii how much equipment we do get. We do get some toys sometimes. Well, it's funny, like, I don't know if it's like we would say the newest gadget, but on 5.0 we use GoPros, right? Or we use GoPros. We'll set up a big stunt. We'll set up a little camera here, a little GoPro in here, and do that, and then wham bam, there you go. I guess that's a very new thing that's come out in the past maybe year or 2 years. Is that these small little cameras have such good quality, and it's available for pretty much anybody to get a GoPro. 5.0 also uses the Canon. I forgot which Canon, but they use a Canon DSLR to shoot some things, video surveillance scenes. But they'll use that, and it's just amazing how available these camera equipment are even for us. I mean, have you guys heard of the Red camera and Blackmagic? We use those too in filmmaking. The last movie we used film was the Cameron Crowe feature, Aloha. We actually used film. But everything's going to digital now. It's easier. You can look at it right then and there. It's kind of sad. Film looks really great. It looks amazing, but digital is the new way to go.
What do you think makes a good director, and what do you observe from them working with actors?
I won't name the movie and I won't name the director, but everyone kind of did this when we found out that one of the first thing he said to his actresses, how do you feel about this character? What do you think how do you want to do this? And we're all like, because yes, the actress or actors has a lot, I feel, to do with their character and what they feel, but no matter what, the director is the one. He's supposed to be the king. He's supposed to be the one with the vision. He's the one who sees how it should be. Yes, I feel actors and actresses they have a whole lot to do with their character, but just the way he presented it was like, he's not going to take charge at all, and that's not a good sign. And it ended up, and throughout the whole movie, he really didn't take charge, and so basically the DP took over, and it's not really a good thing. I mean, director should have that vision, know what the shots he wants to do. He has to be able to see what it'll look like on screen. It's one thing to set up a shot and you see the action, you see it right there. And it's another thing to be able to visualize how it's going to look and how it's going to come across on a screen. There are some directors I've worked with who used to be DPs, very, very good directors as visually wise, but then they couldn't really connect with actors. Actors are props. Literally, he go there like, oh, okay, you put your arm like this, and then I want you to stand like this, and you move their shoulders a bit. You have to have a good balance. The actors are not props. They have their own way. They have their ideas, and they want to collaborate. But at the same time, the director is the one who sees the overall vision of the movie. So a good director is the one who's be able to say, this is the shot I want, and we're going to do it because I think it will work for the film.
Well, Priscilla, thank you so much for spending some time with us and telling us about your experience and what you've learned. Like, even for me, this has just been really enlightening, and I've learned a lot. So let's give her a round of applause.